Hi, I'm Dan O'Day, author of Radio Advertising for Restaurants. In this video, I'll answer one of the questions I'm often asked by restaurant owners or individuals or agencies who are responsible for a restaurant's advertising. I'm sure you've heard radio commercials for restaurants where instead of using a professional voiceover talent or someone at the local radio station, the restaurant owner voiced the commercial. If you own a restaurant, should your voice be on the ad? Before you decide who will voice your commercial, first you need to decide on the specific message you want your campaign to communicate. The delivery system, in this case your radio commercial, is nowhere as important as what is being delivered. In a radio commercial, what's being delivered is what I refer to simply as the sales message. First, deciding that you're going to voice your own commercial and then deciding what it will say is like saying, well, I'm going to send a gift to a friend of mine on the other side of the country. I could send it via Postal Service or FedEx or UPS. I think I'll use FedEx. Okay, so now that I've chosen FedEx to deliver the gift, I guess I should figure out what kind of gift I want to send my friend. So first, determine the message. Then apply this test. If a radio announcer were to read your commercial copy, would it be just as effective as if you did it? If so, then why are you considering voicing it? I'll tell you the most common reasons many restaurant owners voice their own commercials. Number one is ego. They get to be on the radio. Their friends say, I heard you on the radio. You sounded great. Of course, your friends might not be exactly impartial in their reviews of your performance, and even if you did sound great to them, impressing your friends shouldn't be the goal of your ad campaign. The second most common reason so many restaurant owners voice their own commercials is a secret that the advertising industry would rather you didn't know. All too often, the easiest way for a radio station or an ad agency account executive to close the sale is to appeal to the owner's ego. After all, no one knows as much about your restaurant as you do. I'm sure that's true, but it's irrelevant when determining if you should voice your own commercial. Can you deliver that sales message better than anyone else? If so, then you should be on the spot. And that depends upon your ability to read copy in a believable, conversational manner that attracts the attention of the targeted consumer, that builds trust, and that motivates them to patronize your establishment. It also depends upon your own personal style. Do you like people? Do you enjoy talking to them? Or do you prefer to be in the kitchen where you truly are an expert and where you're much more comfortable? I understand that you know your restaurant better than anyone else does. But does the information your commercial communicates require that deep a level of understanding? If you want to focus on the fact that your high-end steakhouse serves only U.S. prime beef, you could say that in your radio commercial, and you could explain exactly what that means and why it's important. But even though you're an expert and I know much less about it, probably I could deliver that information by reading the carefully crafted commercial script at least as well as you. And somebody who's a better voiceover artist than I probably could do a better job than I would. On the other hand, if it's going to be read by the local radio station's announcer who reads all of their commercials and they all sound alike and that announcer doesn't sound like he knows what he's talking about, then perhaps you should be on the commercial. Or at least get someone who can deliver it believably and engagingly. Should you voice your own radio commercial for your restaurant? My response is, what do you want to accomplish? If a radio station or an ad agency suggests that you voice your commercial before they find out what the campaign is supposed to accomplish, don't rely on them for expert counsel and advice. Hey, I hope that was helpful. If you own or manage a restaurant, or you manage the advertising for a restaurant, just click on the link you see beneath this video to get your own copy of Radio Advertising for Restaurants. That's what it looks like. It's an intensive audio seminar on CD, and as the world's highest paid freelance radio copywriter, I share with you all of my secrets for creating restaurant commercial campaigns that work, that turn your radio advertising from an expense into a profit center. It includes dozens of actual radio commercials that I analyze for you in detail so that you can learn from the good ones and avoid the many mistakes made by the bad ones. It's an intensive, fully immersive learning experience in which I share all my secrets for making your restaurant's radio advertising successful. So go ahead and click on the link for your own copy of Radio Advertising for Restaurants.